Okavango floodplain, late afternoon. A young elephant calf emerges alone from the reeds, its legs moving stiffly over damp earth. The ground is soft here, still soaked from the season's last rise, but the calf moves without the sure steps of the herd. Its ears hang loosely at its sides. Each breath comes short, and the streaks below its eyes are not just from mud or water. The rescue team sees it from a distance, and the vehicle slows without anyone speaking. Calves do not leave their mothers. Not like this. Samuel, the lead ranger, lowers his binoculars and steps down. He watches the calf carefully. It walks several paces, then stops and shifts its weight, the kind of movement animals make when something hurts but they don't want to show it. Its tail flicks once, not from flies. Behind it, there are no calls, no footsteps, no dust, no herd. Just reeds tall enough to hide anything and the low hush of the river winding east. The calf does not trumpet, does not call out. But its mouth moves, and its breath quivers. It lets out a sound that is part groan, part cry. A lonely sound, too soft to carry far. Samuel takes a few cautious steps forward. The rest of the team stays near the vehicle, giving space. He has seen calves wander, but never this far. Not without a body nearby, not without vultures in the air. The calf stares at him, not blinking, then lowers its head toward the ground in slow motion. Its trunk brushes the dirt once, then again, not to dig, not to eat, just pressing the soil as if trying to feel something that isn't there anymore. A mother, a memory, a place she should be. The air is warm, but still. A yellow-billed stork stands nearby in the shallows, unmoving. Samuel kneels slowly, keeping his hands at his sides. The calf takes a step back. Its legs shudder slightly. He whispers, not to be heard, just to soften the silence between them. Easy now. The calf holds still. It doesn't bolt. It doesn't run. But it does not approach either. The trust isn't there yet, only need. He signals the others to hold back. Something is wrong. The skin around the calf's jaw looks loose. The ribs show in uneven lines beneath the dust. There's a dark patch near the shoulder, not deep but raw. Flies gather at the edges. It is not old enough to feed alone, not old enough to wander safely. Samuel presses his hand into the ground beside him. The soil is cool. There's no heat of a herd. No scent of nearby elephants, no sign of blood. But the fear is present. If the herd abandons it, it won't survive long. If the mother has died, it may already be hunted. The calf shifts again, swaying slightly. It blinks slowly, from fatigue more than trust. Its trunk rises, not high, just enough to test the air between them. For a second, its breath meets his. Then the calf leans sideways, trembling, and steadies itself with one splayed foot. Samuel stays still, his body grounded. There's no push to act, not yet. The calf is alone but not ready to leave, and he is not ready to take it. They need time. But dusk comes fast on this side of the water. If the mother is nearby, she might return. If not, the night will come with jackals and silence. The decision rests on patience, but the risk grows with each minute. If they act too early, they might force a break. If they wait too long, they may find a body, not a calf. The animal doesn't cry again. It only stands there, small and quiet, dust clinging to the folds behind its legs. Samuel lowers his eyes, reading the earth. The tracks around it are shallow, confused. One calf, no adults, just wandering, circular prints, as if it had been moving there for hours, unsure where to go, unsure who would come. The cry begins just after dusk, sharp and rhythmic, too deliberate to be casual distress, the kind of sound a calf makes when it's no longer calling, but pleading. Across the flat, dry basin, the wind stills as if to make space for the sound. Samuel hears it before he sees the shift in the calf's posture. The animal has turned toward him now, head low, ears pulled back tight. Its chest rises fast with each call. No longer a whimper. A full-body ache pushed out through the throat. Samuel steps forward slowly, hands open at his sides, palms down. It's a posture used hundreds of times before, one that speaks without force. The team remains behind. No one moves unless he signals. The calf takes a step, not back, but forward. Then another. The sound doesn't pause. Its voice cracks on the higher notes now, as though the effort to cry hurts more than silence. But it does not stop. There is no threat in it, no challenge, just a raw, pulsing need to be heard. The distance closes quickly, 10 meters, 6. Samuel holds steady. He sees the calf's legs trembling beneath it, one slightly twisted at the joint. Then it runs. Not a strong run, not wild, not fast, but a forward, frantic charge of weight and instinct. A cry still rips from its throat even as it moves. Samuel braces but does not back away. The calf stops just before him, skidding a little on the damp sand, then stands panting, trunk lifted toward his chest, uncoordinated and shaking. It touches him. First with the trunk, then with the top of its head, leaning in as if trying to hide against something larger. It has not done this before. Not with any human, not with any sound like this. Samuel places one hand gently near its temple, not petting, just steady. The calf presses closer. Its whole body quivers with exhaustion. Its back legs buckle and fold slowly beneath it. It does not lie down. It collapses, the way the sick and scared do when the last of the adrenaline burns out. The others approach now, quietly, stopping a few steps behind. No words are spoken. They look at Samuel, and he shakes his head. No mother in sight, no shadows beyond the brush. No movement in the tall grass. The herd has not come. The calf is still alone. And now it has spent whatever energy was left. The crying stops, but not because the need is gone, because the voice is. Samuel kneels beside it. The calf's side rises quickly, too quickly. Its skin twitches along the ribs with each breath. The injury near the shoulder is seeping now, not bleeding heavily, but fresh enough to worry. Flies circle low, dipping in and out of the wound. He takes a cloth from his bag, wets it with bottled water, and brushes gently around the edges. The calf flinches once, but doesn't move away. A decision is forming, but it is not final yet. If the herd is nearby, intervention could mean rejection. If they act too soon, the calf may be marked with human scent and never taken back. But if they wait and the herd is gone for good, the calf will not survive another night. Hyenas move in the dark. Even the river nearby is not safe. Crocodiles patrol its shallows. Samuel whispers something again, just soft enough to settle space. "Stay with me, little one." The calf exhales through its trunk, a sound more breath than voice. Its eyes close briefly, then open again. Dull. There is no fight left. Not tonight. Only breath, shallow and strained, against the palm of a stranger's hand. The rangers begin to set a low perimeter, placing scent-neutral markers in a half-circle around the calf's resting place. No lights, no noise. Just a promise of protection while the sky deepens above them. If the herd comes now, they'll find it. If not, the calf has made its choice, not to run, but to be found. Morning comes slowly across the basin, a pale gold rising over the reeds. The air holds last night's chill, and the ground beneath the calf is damp where it laid unmoving for hours. Samuel is the first to approach again, crouching at a measured distance, waiting for any sign of alarm, but the calf stays still. It lifts its head only slightly, trunk dragging over the soil, drawing weak half-circles in the dirt. The team waits for the signal. When it comes, they move forward with quiet care. No words, no sudden steps. The calf watches but does not resist. It lets them near. Samuel studies the body first, starting with the legs. Along the front left, fresh scrapes run from the knee down, parallel, shallow, but raw. Dirt is packed around them. The right side shows less damage, but the calf winces as it shifts. When it stands, the limp is clear. The rear left joint doesn't move cleanly, bending slightly outward with each step. The kind of gait that comes from strain, not birth. There are no punctures, no bite marks, no bruising to the stomach or sides, no signs of a chase. If there was a predator, it didn't get close. If there was a struggle, it happened without violence. The oddest thing is the stillness of the place. No broken branches, no scatter of bones. No deep gouges in the dirt, just the calf, its skin flaking dry along the back, and the outline of its own restless pacing drawn in circles from the night before. One ranger holds out a water vessel. Samuel nods. They pour slowly, a shallow puddle in a carved dip in the earth. The calf sniffs, then drinks in slow, shaking sips. Its ears flick only once, not in warning, just reflex. When it's finished, it leans back again, not quite sitting but folding low to the earth as if it expects to wait. Samuel brushes his palm over the soil nearby, feeling again for tracks. Elephants leave heavy signs, but here there are none beyond the calf's own. No adult footprints, no drag marks, nothing fresh. It doesn't make sense. Herds don't disappear this cleanly. They move in groups, leaving trails through grass and water. Even in fear, they don't abandon a calf this small, unless something scared them more than losing one. He stands and surveys the distance. The sky is wide open. Vultures spiral, but high, not circling any kill. A few antelope graze far off, unconcerned. Even the birds are quiet. It's not the kind of silence that follows violence. It's the kind that signals confusion. Something is off, and nature feels it. The team begins documenting the calf's condition. They note the injuries, take photos, mark the temperature and hydration level. Still, no conclusions come, no cause, no reason. Only one fact remains steady. The herd is not here. A second ranger, Amira, checks the calf's breathing. It's rapid but not failing. She whispers to Samuel, her voice barely above breath. He was running from something, but nothing's following. He nods, gaze steady. The signs don't add up. If the herd was attacked, there should be noise, signs, and remains. If they fled, their tracks would lead somewhere. But there is only this, an injured calf moving in circles, crying into the dark, then falling silent under a stranger's hand. They reset the boundary line with cloth markers, scent-free, light enough not to disturb the ground. The sun climbs, heat begins to rise. The calf shifts again, lifting its trunk toward Samuel as he kneels nearby. It hovers mid-air, unsure what to ask for, then rests gently across his boot. Not a grip, not a gesture, just contact, light, trembling, enough to feel the ground is shared. The herd is still gone. Whatever frightened them or pulled them away left no trail. And if this calf was left behind by mistake, the clock is already running. Each hour without reunion is a deeper wedge. Soon, even if the herd returns, they may not take him. He smells of humans now, and he remembers who stayed when no one else did. Here is Chapter 4, The Waiting Silence, written in immersive, emotionally grounded narration with an exact word count of 625 words, in accordance with your faceless YouTube storytelling format. The sun climbs higher across the Okavango Basin, dulling the edges of the morning cool. By midday, the team has finished circling the calf's space with a soft perimeter. Strips of cloth hung low, cut from scent-neutral fabric, swaying gently between small reed stakes. No traps, no gates, just quiet markers to keep others back and give the calf a boundary it can understand without fear. They do not move the calf. They do not tag it. No rope ever. This is a place for waiting, not intervention. If the herd is nearby, this is their chance to return. But they must come before nightfall, before the predators begin to roam again. Samuel steps away from the others and sits cross-legged in the sand near the calf. He's been with dozens of injured animals over the years, but this one is different. Not because of the wound, he's seen worse. Not because of the silence, he's learned how to wait. It's the closeness. The calf chooses him, again and again, not out of trust perhaps, but out of absence. There is nothing else for it to follow. The calf lies in the shade cast by one of the taller marker poles, its sides rising quickly with each breath. It doesn't sleep, not fully. Its ears twitch now and then, reacting to insects, to dust, to the low sound of wind brushing across dry grass, but its eyes don't close. They stay half-lidded, watching Samuel. At one point, it shifts slightly and presses its flank closer to his knee. The movement is slow, like water sliding toward a shallow, a decision made without fanfare. Hours pass. The sky lightens at the edges where the sun angles westward. The team scans the surrounding land again, binoculars sweeping the far line of reeds, listening for the groan of heavy footsteps, the shift of brush, the low rumble of matriarch calls. But the horizon remains still. No dust, no shape, no scent of elephants. Just warmth rising from the ground, and the low hum of insects now finding their rhythm. Every so often, Samuel stands, walks the edge of the perimeter, then returns. He moves without urgency, careful not to disturb the quiet the calf seems to lean into. Once, when he steps too far away, the calf lifts its head and lets out a single soft call, not the sharp cry of panic, but something shorter, closer to a whine. He returns quickly, and the sound stops. They are bound now, not by language, but by proximity. If the herd comes, it must come soon. But if it doesn't, Samuel knows what this will mean. Around late afternoon, the wind shifts. A gust moves through the tall reeds like the sweep of cloth over skin. Everyone stops. For one long minute, all sound ceases. The birds go quiet. The insects pause. Even the calf stiffens, ears angled toward the north, but no movement follows. Nothing breaks the grass. No shadows grow larger, and the silence, once hopeful, stretches too long. It is not a pause. It is an answer. Samuel lowers himself again into the dust, hands resting loosely in his lap. The calf doesn't cry this time. It doesn't call. It only breathes. Still pressed close, its body sinks lower into the earth, skin twitching from heat, from memory, from what it cannot name. The team watches, still giving space. They've done all they can for now. The rest depends on something bigger than them, the will of the herd or the turn of the wild. If they come, they must come before night. If they do not, the calf will sleep alone again, and if he does, he may begin to forget how it felt to walk in a line. Dusk settles low over the basin, drawing long shadows across the reeds. The calf has not moved for nearly an hour. Its flank still touches Samuel's leg. Breath comes steady now, softer than before, but still shallow. The team has gone quiet. No one speaks unless necessary. The air has taken on a kind of charge, like something gathering behind the silence. Then, a crack. Subtle, but sharp. Not wind, not dry wood falling. A deliberate snap of weight against a branch. Samuel turns his head slowly toward the sound. Another break follows. Then a low rustle, reeds swaying against mass, not breeze. Something is moving, something large. The calf lifts its head, its ears angle sharply forward. It doesn't cry out, it doesn't rise, but its trunk curls once, the tip shaking slightly, searching the air. Samuel stays still. The team spreads, giving open space in the direction of the noise. No one reaches for tools, no cameras, no movement except breath. The rustling grows louder, but it's not frantic, not a stampede. The footsteps are slow, weighted, calm. A branch bends and snaps, a reed collapses. Then, from between the thick stems, the first body emerges, wide, gray, massive. An adult female, likely over 3 decades old. Her tusks are smooth, pale at the tips. Her ears fan once, then settle. She does not trumpet, she does not posture. Her eyes lock onto the calf. Samuel doesn't move, neither does the calf. For a few long seconds, everything holds. Then more shapes move behind her. Another adult, slightly smaller, followed by 2 juveniles and what looks like another calf, older than the one lying beside Samuel, but still young. They have not stepped forward yet. Only the lead female crosses the final distance. She moves with intention, not aggression. The ground softens beneath her weight, and each step presses deep into the wet sand. When she reaches the outer edge of the perimeter, she stops. Her trunk lifts. She sniffs the boundary cloth, then steps over it without hesitation. The calf remains still, but its breathing quickens. The female lowers her trunk, brushing it gently against the dust near Samuel's boot, not touching him, just marking the air between them. Then she reaches toward the calf. Her trunk curls around the smaller one's side, not to lift, not to pull, just to touch. The calf doesn't pull away. Its ears fold slightly, and for the first time in days, it closes its eyes. The older female lingers there, making slow circular motions over the calf's back. Then, in a movement so fluid it seems practiced, she leans down and exhales over the calf's head. One by one, the others begin to move forward. They come without sound, without urgency. The juveniles hang back, observing. The second adult waits just outside the perimeter. Samuel remains where he is, arms low, posture still. The matriarch's gaze passes over him once more, calm but assessing. She says nothing, of course, but her stillness holds something close to recognition. She leans forward, brushes the back of the calf's ear with her trunk, and then touches the earth beside Samuel's knee before stepping away. The calf does not rise, but its head follows her movement now, its eyes, glassy with exhaustion, begin to sharpen, not alert, not afraid, just a present, watching, remembering. Another adult joins the matriarch now, and they begin to encircle the calf loosely. No panic, no push, only the slow, deliberate movement of a herd reclaiming what had been lost. If they had truly left him, they would not have returned this way. If they were afraid, they would not have come so close to the scent of humans. Something changed. Something passed. And whatever it was, it broke tonight with the sound of reeds parting and the quiet return of those who once vanished into silence. The light fades fast. The air smells of wet earth and crushed grass. The herd does not speak. They don't need to. Their presence is enough. The calf blinks once and shifts slightly, weight rolling toward the center of the group. Night arrives, but this time, he is not alone. The last light leans across the basin, soft and low. Dust floats through the golden air, slow as ash. The herd stands now in loose formation around the calf, not pressed in tight, but present, a living wall of breath and memory. The perimeter the rangers set has vanished into their feet. No one removes it. It simply no longer matters. This space is theirs again. Samuel remains kneeling beside the calf, still as the earth beneath him. His hands rest loosely on his knees, open. The calf has not moved far, but its posture has changed. It lies straighter now, head upright, trunk stretched toward the herd. No sound passes between them, just small shifts of weight, slow movements of ears and tails. Then the matriarch steps forward again. She moves without sound. Her head lowers slightly as she nears. Samuel does not retreat. His eyes remain on hers, but not to hold her gaze, only to be seen. The others behind her pause. They watch, not guarding, not fearful, just waiting. She stops less than a meter from Samuel. Her breath is steady. He can hear the wet rush of it moving through her trunk. Her eyes fall to the calf, and after a long, still moment, she reaches down and runs her trunk along the calf's spine. It is not a hurried touch. It is deliberate, from shoulder to tail, a full pass. She pauses, then lifts her head again. Then, softly, unexpectedly, she turns and brushes her trunk along Samuel's boot. It is not a mistake, not a threat, not a warning. It is the same motion she used with the calf, a gesture of recognition, of contact. Then she withdraws. Behind her, the others begin to move. One juvenile steps forward, hesitant, pauses near the calf's feet. Another approaches from the left, leans down, and exhales. They do not push or prod. They do not crowd. They come one at a time, moving around the calf's body in a slow, shifting rhythm. The matriarch takes position behind them, silent as dusk. The calf begins to rise. First, just its head, then its front legs, wobbling slightly. It sways once, then steadies. Samuel doesn't touch it. He only leans back enough to give space. The calf steps toward the matriarch. It pauses once, looks behind, not at Samuel, but at the ground he sat on. Then it moves forward again and nestles its head against her side. The circle closes gently, not tight, not full, but enough to signal welcome. One of the younger elephants reaches over and rests its trunk on the calf's shoulder. Another brushes along its side. These are not greetings of excitement. They are rituals of return, movements that mark what was lost and now stands among them again. Samuel rises slowly, stepping back until he joins the others. No one speaks. The herd is no longer watching them. Their world has pulled inward now. What needed to be remembered has been. No calls break the stillness. No one leads the way out. They are not ready to leave. They have waited too long already. And elephants, when they remember, do not rush. They feel in circles, through scent, sound, presence, through the ground beneath their feet, through the shared breath of reunion. The rangers remain on the edge of it all, distant, but witness. They know better than to interpret what they've seen. It is not forgiveness, not understanding. It is something older than that, something written in the language of skin and dust and time. The stars begin to show in the sky. The basin cools quickly. In the quiet, Samuel watches the calf press once more into the side of its kin, not needing to cry now, not needing to ask for anything. The herd does not move for a long time. They stand as if remembering something none of them could say aloud, something they were never taught, only born knowing. What they remembered wasn't him. It was themselves. Night stretches wide across the basin. The wind has dropped, and in its absence the world holds still. Insects call in scattered rhythm. The reeds sway gently, brushing against one another like soft whispers. The herd has formed a crescent around the calf, giving it space but not distance, close enough to feel but not demand. They are waiting, not to leave, not to move, simply to see what the calf will do now that it is no longer alone. The calf stands quietly, its side warmed by the matriarch's breath. It leans into her slightly, the way it did with Samuel earlier in the day. But it doesn't settle. It doesn't lie down. Its feet shift slowly. It lifts its head and looks past the wall of legs, back toward the humans waiting at the edge of the clearing. Samuel stands a few steps apart from the others. He does not move. He is used to letting nature choose. Sometimes that means walking away. Sometimes it means being left behind. The calf takes a single step forward, leaving the safety of the matriarch's side. Then another. It walks slowly, deliberately, weaving through the long shadows cast by the herd's bodies. Each step is uncertain but chosen. It crosses the narrow space between the elephants and the rangers, stopping just short of Samuel. Its trunk lowers and touches the earth near his boot, the same spot where it once curled up beside him. No one speaks. No one reaches out. They let the moment come. The calf lifts its head. Its ears are still, not angled in fear. Its eyes reflect the low starlight, open and fixed. For a long time, seconds stretched thin, it does not move. It simply watches him. Then, without warning, it lets out a soft, low cry. Not sharp, not desperate. A release, a sound made not of pain, but of memory. Samuel exhales slowly. He doesn't answer. Don't step closer. This, too, must be the calf's choice. The cry fades into the air. Then the calf turns. It doesn't run. It doesn't hesitate. It walks, steady now, back toward the herd, back toward what waited and didn't forget. The matriarch shifts to meet it, so do the others. They don't trumpet or rumble. They simply open the line and let it return. The calf moves into the circle and presses against another young elephant. The contact is met with a gentle nudge, no protest, no rejection, just a soft shift of bodies as space is made. From the edge of the clearing, the rangers lower their heads slightly, not in grief, not in farewell, in recognition. The work is done here. The question has been answered. The calf could have stayed. It could have remained near Samuel. It had reason to. Trust built in hunger and fear often clings, but it didn't. It walked back, not because it had to, but because it still knew what it meant to belong. Samuel turns to the others. He whispers only one word. Good. Then step back. In the darkness, the herd begins to breathe as one again, a deep, unified rhythm rolling through the clearing like distant rain. The calf is quiet now, not asleep, just still. There will be no sedatives, no transport crates, no tags or collars. The reunion came not from rescue, but from time, from waiting, from knowing when to step forward and when to let go. And somewhere beneath that vast, quiet sky, the calf remembers both. By first light, the herd begins to move. It starts with a single shift, the matriarch turning toward the river's edge, her ears catching the distant sound of water against reeds. One by one, the others follow. Not quickly, not urgently, just in quiet motion, their steps steady and sure, pressing deep into the softened earth. No calls are made, no looks are cast behind. Their work here is finished. The calf moves near the center of the group now, not clinging, not lagging, just walking, as if it had never been gone at all, as if the night beneath the stars and the hand on its side had been a dream it chose to carry forward, but not live inside. Samuel watches from a distance. His boots rest in the same place they had the night before. He has not stepped closer. He does not need to. The wind brushes against his sleeves, cool and dry, carrying with it the scent of dust and crushed grass. He breathes in slowly, then lets it go. Around him, the rest of the team remains still. No one reaches for equipment. No one speaks. There are no final photographs. The story will not be told in footage. It will live in memory, in the space between breath and decision. The herd fades slowly into the haze, gray against gold, bodies dissolving into the heat rising off the land. The calf turns once, its trunk swinging low, then forward again. There's no sound, just the soft drum of footsteps moving away. Samuel walks to the center of the clearing, where the calf once lay. The ground is pressed smooth. The soil is darker there, rich with weight and warmth. Beside it, the imprint of a knee, his own, still holds shape. The two marks sit close, untouched, fading slowly under the morning light. He crouches once more, runs a hand over the dirt. It's cool now, still damp beneath the top layer. The footprints of the herd overlap one another in quiet spirals, a record of presence that will disappear with the next wind. But for now, they remain, wide, deep, certain. Somewhere behind him, a bird calls, high, clear, ordinary. The day begins again. Amira steps beside him, just far enough not to disturb the silence. She doesn't speak either. They don't need to. The calf's choice, the herd's return. The moment they all witnessed, none of it can be held in language. It was not about rescue, not about saving. It was about waiting long enough for the wild to decide for itself. Samuel stands slowly. Dust clings to his palms. He brushes them off against his pants and lets his eyes trace the last of the herd's backs as they vanish into tall grass. The breeze shifts again, curling through the reeds like breath returning to a still body. The team begins to pack up quietly. Cloth markers are removed. No trash is left. No sign that anyone had been there, except the prints. The earth will heal that too. As they walk back toward the vehicle, Samuel turns one last time. The clearing is empty now, just sun and sand and silence. But beneath that silence, something lingers. No noise, not memory, just presence. Like the last note of a song held gently in the throat, a moment that didn't ask for anything, a moment that stayed. The wind rises once more, lifting a thin veil of dust into the air. It moves through the clearing, between where man once knelt and where the calf once lay, and keeps going, westward, toward the trees, toward the herd, toward whatever comes next. Some moments, he thinks, are not meant to be held, only witnessed,